Let's do this. Welcome and thank you so much for checking out my review of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the last chapter in the Skywalker saga, once more directed by the returning J.J. Abrams and starring, of course, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, Carrie Fisher, among many others. We find the surviving remnants of the Resistance facing the First Order once more in the final chapter with a returning familiar face. And I'm keeping it very vague, as I will do for the rest of this review. One thing I want to get out of the way is that I love The Force Awakens, I love The Last Jedi, so if you are immediately turned off by that, I suggest you leave, because I have a lot of good things to say about this film. I've loved Star Wars my entire life. I even have a love for the prequels, even though I don't really love those films. I don't think they're good films, but they're all Star Wars, and I have a place in my heart for all of them. This is a satisfying chapter to end the entire Skywalker saga. I think it's a very gratifying conclusion with a lot of great moments that bring the entire saga together like I didn't even know I needed. There are just so many things that add up, not only in regards to the rest of the saga, but also within this trilogy to connect to the rest of the saga. Dots that I myself, and I bet many others, hadn't connected yet. And Rey's journey once more in this film is excellently done. I've loved what they did with this character the entire trilogy. She is one of my favorite characters. She's frigging John Williams' favorite character, and I can't blame him. She's an incredibly well-written character. She has always been throughout this franchise. Ever since she emerged in The Force Awakens and her journey completes here, I thought they did a wonderful job with her Rey character, once more brilliantly played by Daisy Ridley. I adored seeing this character in this chapter of her journey because it is so grueling. It is so unsatisfying for her to find out her origins and go down this path that she's not sure she's ready to go in. Because she has faced disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, yet she's not really used to it still. She doesn't have the reactions of someone that is used to it. Because she has hope, she embodies everything that a Star Wars protagonist should be. And our recurring cast is fantastic as well, from Oscar Isaac as Poe, John Boyega as Finn. They're great. I love their dynamic in this film. I love what they have to add up in this film. I don't think C-3PO has ever been as good as he is in this film. And let's address the elephant in the room. What they did with Carrie Fisher in this film is astounding. Her role was incredible. There are some really good surprises with Carrie Fisher's role in this film. And honestly, if I didn't know she had passed away before this film was even shot, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Gonna be honest. Maybe on a second watch I'll notice something here or there. I was really satisfied, surprisingly happy. It didn't bother me in the least on any regard. Let's talk about my favorite Star Wars character, Kylo Ren, the one I relate to the most, the one who has the same name as me. Adam Driver is a chameleon working today. From The Report to Marriage Story, now this, all such different roles, yet he gives his all. His performance in this film doesn't falter. He's as good in The Force Awakens as he was in The Last Jedi. He is phenomenal in this film. I love this character. I love Adam Driver playing him, and he brought his all once more. From the visual effects to the sets, everything looks fantastic, pristine, lived in, dirty, like Star Wars really does excel at. Really, the visual effects are out of this world, fantastic. And yes, Ian McDearmid is great, but that's really all I can say about it in this spoiler-free review. Let's talk about the story. I think for the most part is great. As I said, it is a very satisfying, gratifying conclusion to the entire saga, but it leaves things to be desired in regards to this one trilogy. I'll get to that in my issues, but overall, I think they did this conclusion, this ending chapter, even involving this one trilogy, very well for the most part. Let's address John Williams. This is 99.9% for sure his last Star Wars movie. If it is, the gentleman leaves on a high note. This score is jaw-droppingly ear-gasmic. It's one of his best scores, not only in general, but in Star Wars. He has never faltered with his scores, but there's something about the epicness with which he composed The Rise of Skywalker. Gives you chills throughout every single track in this movie. I was like, holy shit, I need this right now on my phone. But now let's go to issues. As I've said previously, this is my least favorite of the trilogy, 100%. I have quite a few issues in terms of narrative and thematic choices that kind of betray this trilogy. There are some choices that either don't make sense, there are some choices that are poorly executed. Even if I was to go along with the idea, I think the execution is very bleh. It's just one person says this, the other person says that, and oh, okay, there's a character change. And we're fine with it, I guess. And going into characters once more, without revealing too much, I wouldn't want to spoil you guys. There are certain characters that are not present in where narratively it would totally make sense for them to be there, and they totally should be there. Because what has been constructed, what has been thematically presented, the narrative threads that are there, not only in The Force Awakens, in The Last Jedi, but for the majority of this movie. There are moments where you keep thinking, wait, why isn't this person there if they have been talking about them belonging with this certain aspect of the film? And so in many regards, I was disappointed in some of the choices that I will go more into in my spoiler review. And is there fan service in this film? Absolutely there is. The final chapter of the greatest saga ever told, there should and there will be fan service. There are elements of fan service that I will say, they didn't need to be in this film. I was happy to see them, but did they need to be there? No, there are moments of fan service that I think this film couldn't survive without, and they served the story. In regards to those that they didn't need to be there, they don't damage the story either. So that's the thing that stops me from seeing them as issues. So to cap it all off, I love the majority of this film. I will always see this film as the ending of one of the chapters of my life. The ending to the greatest saga ever told, one of the sagas that made me love movies as much as I do, with all its ups and all its downs. I do need to watch it again, so again, I'm putting a caveat. But for now, I'm giving Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker a B. Now, what did you think of The Rise of Skywalker, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you rank all the Star Wars movie, Clone Wars movie included. Thank you so much once more for watching. You guys are the best. I hope you enjoy the last chapter of the greatest saga ever told. And stay tuned for my spoiler review and many other reviews to come. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much once more. You guys are the best. So until the next review, don't forget to stay beautiful, stay geeky, subscribe, and like the video because it really helps me out. But most importantly, as always, love each other and love the movies. And for this one video especially, for the last time, may the Force be with you.